It had to be done. It was too late for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Triangle's the beautiful story of how a mother's love for her child wins out over all. And you think with a name like Triangle and them being on a boat, it might be about the Bermuda Triangle? Well, it isn't, and Triangle's so good, it doesn't need to be.
Oh, you're just having a bad dream, that's all, baby.
Yay, Melissa George! I'm glad she's in good movies like this and Turistas. Triangle, 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 triangle. Triangle, 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 triangle.
I'm afraid I just blew myself.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
No one at the door. Triangle, 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 Huh. No one at the door here either. What a coincidence.
Look, you see? Close your eyes.
Oh, and here's the reason it's called Triangle. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Ah. Okay. Whew. I'm sorry. Wasn't feeling very good for a bit there. What was I? Right, it's time to review Triangle. The owner of the Triangle, Greg, is about to take some of his friends boating. They quickly set up the couple, Sally and Downey, to be arrogant twats who brought a friend, Heather, to try and set him up with. And that's her whole point in the story, which is really useless in the whole scheme of things. Plus, Greg is obviously more interested in Melissa George's character, Jess, who's looking stunned out of her mind.
You okay? I don't think so.
Of course not. You're in Triangle. Someone there? What? Okay, look, if this is some random character for the skip part of the review, just come out and let's get it over with. Fine. So, Jess takes a nap on board and dreams of taking a nap on the beach. Guess she's so tired she even dreams of sleeping.
You okay?
This terrible dream.
What about?
I don't remember.
You told me she was bringing a little boy along.
Yeah.
So when I was walking with him in the harbor, I asked her where he was. She stared into space for like 20 seconds, and then she said he's at school.
Oh, and she has an autistic son. But you know, that's not Greg's problem, that's hers.
So them talking basically goes like this. I have no reason to be here. Oh yeah? Well, bitch, 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 bitch.
And I really don't like seeing him with her.
Just for the record,
I'm not interested.
Cool, because no one's interested in you. But something of actual interest is the storm moving in on them.
Help me. Please help me. Daddy, where are you?
Cheryl!
That doesn't make any sense. Hello?
Sucks, Dale. Kill yourself.
Yeah, I can't really make you out.
Your video, your boy, it's your face, it's your voice.
Okay, whatever. So the shit hits the fan, the boat capsizes, and they lose Heather. So yeah, nothing of importance was lost. And that's why I said her character is so useless. She is gone from the movie now. There's a few times I think something might be her later, but that doesn't really affect anything. So yeah, back to flirting and Jess looking stunned out of her mind. Guess the dreaming of sleeping nightmare wasn't even enough rest. So out from the overexposure, a cruise ship appears!
There, over there, I can see someone.
So it pulls beside them, but when they get aboard, no one is in sight. And wait for it, Jess looks stunned out of her mind! Woo! They look around the boat, but still find no one. It's a ghost ship! So they get visited by a little girl who died on the boat and find out one of them's already dead and sent to collect souls for the
No, we did that one before.
I feel like I know this place.
Hello? Whoever it was might want to come back for these.
These are my keys.
It's gotta be Heather.
Oh, come on. You're saying it was Heather dropping her keys but not bothering to stop and say, hey, people, guess what? I didn't drown.
Well, why not?
Because that wouldn't make any sense, and we wouldn't want a bunch of nonsense in Triangle, would we?
Then we'll go home.
I saw someone.
So Victor takes off after them and Greg takes off too! In another direction. Guess Victor's good on his own to go check on the weird person spying on them. Though oddly enough, Jess doesn't think so. Says they should go check on Victor and that she keeps having deja vu about the boat, which annoys Greg.
You're just in shock.
That's not it.
Is it Tommy? Is it guilt? Is that what it is? Do you feel guilty?
That line doesn't make any sense unless Greg doesn't believe Jess left her son at school.
They get a nice little message in blood telling them to go to the theater. Well, why not trust that, right?
They see us, they get bored, they're just letting off some steam.
They rescue us from the sea and then they just hide for fun?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Don't you see that this is all just in your mind? Ships don't just magically appear out of nowhere. In your world right now, maybe they don't.
I'm sorry, Greg, but I think finding messages in blood is an okay point to stop thinking everything is okay here.
My world is waiting outside school for his mother to pick him up.
Jess, I'm sorry.
But still not sorry enough to think that letting you go on your own might be a bad idea. Victor shows up again, but this time with a hole in his neck and tries to put one in Jess's as well until she has a poke around in there.
He said you shot him! What? I didn't want you're a liar!
Well, the confusion over that gets broken up when a sniper picks off both Danny and Sally, leaving Jess to get chased by the murderer, and while hiding we see it's someone who is of course keeping their face hidden.
Please, I have a son. Who are you? Tell me!
So, with the killer taken care of and everyone else dead, I guess there's only one thing left.
Yep, that is extremely pointless. Well, I heard a noise outside, so I'm gonna go see if I can get that stupid skit done now. Alright, I know I've seen someone out here. Let's get it over with. Damn it. What's going on? Okay, that was weird. Yep, that's extremely pointless. Well, I heard a noise over there, so can we get the stupid skit done now? Fine, whatever, screw it. Damn it to hell, Jess, couldn't you leave it alone?
Da-da-da-da! There, over there, I can see somebody! Da-da-da-da!
That's right, Jess has gone back in time to when they're getting aboard the boat. Naturally, this kind of freaks her out, but after some time, she makes the rational decision to keep hiding from them.
Hello? Ah, so that's how Jess got her keys back. She dropped them. Except the keys still need to come from somewhere other than purely the loop. If Jess lost her keys during the storm, they can't magically appear on the cruise ship from her dropping them.
So she goes and sees that the blood message is still there, okay, and continues to spy on herself.
I saw someone.
Da-da-da-da!
Okay, she has to realize that she's now just fulfilling the time loop, and considering how well that went, break it!
Oddly enough, the time loop doesn't appear to have reset everything, as we see Danny's body still in the water, though he was shot in the theater, so how he made it to and decided to throw himself overboard is rather confusing. Victor shows up because, as we remember, he went to go check on the mystery person. Jess explains what's going on, of course, in a frantic, crazed manner instead of just calmly taking Victor down to go and see the copy of herself. I can see being hesitant of interacting with yourself in case something like this happened.
You tried to make contact with yourself, didn't you? That will erase your very existence.
But she's going to soon anyway, and we know it doesn't turn out well if she doesn't.
I just left Downey back there. How did you get here so fast?
He's not really inclined to believe that everyone has died and come back, just that Jess can teleport to beat him to the deck here. What, does this guy have a hole in his head? Yeah, that thing must be sharp as hell, or Jess is a shit ton stronger than she looks. Well, she avoids herself and Greg again because she's content to continue fulfilling the damn loop. She then finds papers with "if they board, kill them all" written on it. Of course, writes it down again to see if it's her writing, I guess? What kind of idiot would do that? If he finishes the review, he must die. If he finishes the review, he must die. If he finishes the review, he must die. When I wrote the same thing on the paper, the same thing's on the paper. Hey, what's that? What's this doing out here? I got Super Mario Duck Hunt. I got an axe. Then it kind of dawns on her that the voice in the mask was...
If they board, kill them. Jess, you gotta kill them. Please, you have to listen. Don't let them board. Jess! Fuck you.
That tells you. She then sees her locket stuck around some grating when she realizes it's dropped there a bunch of times, and of course ducks down and gets the one she's wearing caught, and it falls. For the time loop to start this series of events, Jess needs to catch her locket on the grating. But she doesn't do that. As we've seen, she just keeps dropping it down. And why does she drop it down? Because she sees her locket caught on the grating. If in the first run of events she catches it on the grating, why wouldn't she have unwrapped it and taken it back? In fact, we now know that she's only come to this room because of events set forth by her future self. And actually, there can't even be an event one because none of it would happen without a future Jess. So finally, Jess decides to flat out break events when she interrupts the Victor strangling her scene.
You see, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, thinking of shooting your past self and telling yourself that you aren't you? That seems kind of crazy. And also, if you believe the rest of them are them, that must be you. So now we have 2 Jesses running around at this point. Right, make that 3 Jesses. So our Jess manages to save Downey and Sally this time, but then says, "Hey, wait here and I'll go get Victor alone, cause that's not a completely asinine plan or anything, especially when I figured out the killer is me. Hope that doesn't fool you, maybe I should explain it." Nah. She goes to find Victor has thrown himself overboard. Okay, maybe you're supposed to take it that future Jess did it, but she didn't have any time to drag a body. In fact, what's she doing right now? Oh, fooling the twits, I'm so surprised.
Ignore it.
Well, good thing for future Jess, these people are morons.
So, what are we doing in here?
Help me. Please help me. She's killing everyone.
Did you hear a distress call? We're not getting it anymore. Over.
Ah, of course, Sally left the distress call. In the second scenario, because she died in the theater in the first scenario. So does the boat not always get the distress call? Well, that wouldn't make sense, as that part isn't even part of the time loop. God damn it, I've got to think of a way to stop him from finishing that review. I got it. Hello? You suck, Phelous! Go kill yourself, for real, Phelous! Yeah, I can't really make you out. Your videos suck, they're boring, I hate your face, I hate your voice! Okay, whatever. What?! Oh, shut up, that doesn't make any sense. So this scenario is played out many times, obviously, with Sally dying on deck. Objection! Her body being left here raises a serious contradiction. Where was anyone else's body? Yes, we know sometimes some of them either jumped overboard or were thrown off by evil future Jess, but this isn't the case for all the bodies. Victor in the first loop we were shown was dead, so he wasn't throwing himself off, and our Jess was followed the whole time by future Jess after killing Greg and the rest in the theater until she was knocked overboard. Victor's Scenario 1 body should have still been in that dining room. There was no time to drag that out during the chase or between the loops. And you know what? Dead bodies stink. A lot. A ton of dead Sally should be pretty noticeable anywhere on the outside of that boat. Then present Jess hears past Jess killing future Jess. Is that confusing enough? And why Jess actually gets axed down here instead of just getting knocked overboard is best left for no explanation.
If you hold on, you'll get to see Downey again.
No deal. Wait a second, Sally is dead now? What was with that other Sally still moving when this one was crawling by her? And don't tell me it's because of her brushing by her. That's clearly not the case with this motion. Let's do the time warp again, if we really have to. Let's do the time warp again.
Returns when you're dead. Returns when everyone's dead.
Objection! You're looking at a contradiction to that fact right in front of you. Well, either she's the contradiction or you are, and if you don't think any of the Jesses count in her head, then why does future Jess try to kill herself? Never occurs to her that this might be time-based, huh? And you know what? It's only her insane conclusion here that sets forth any of the events! Duh, stop doing the review, damn it. So, having the best chance yet to stop all motion of the loop as they are just coming aboard, she of course runs away from them and instead watches the triangle float away. Why? Because it makes the least amount of sense to do.
What? No, I mean, he was dead. He's not dead now.
There you go, you can stop Victor from getting the hole in his neck and they can all live right now.
She had blood on one side of her face, and then I killed her. I killed her on the front of the ship.
So, with the past one winning that battle, that leaves us without a murderer for this loop. Oh, seriously? She's really at this point now?
Don't be scared, Victor. I can save you.
I could have done that much more efficiently a second ago, but I want to kill you guys to save you. That'll be much more fun. And I know that by fulfilling the events of the time loop that I will save all you guys. Oh wait, no, I won't.
Objection!
First, the message should still be there from all rules set up by this time loop. Second, why? She knows how things play out if she does them exactly the same. In fact, all she has to do is go stop herself from accidentally putting a hole in Victor's neck, and they can all be fine, because she's technically the evil one in this loop. Oh, then of course she tosses Downey and Greg's bodies overboard. Guess that explains that. Except there should be 2 Greg bodies in the theater, as she didn't dump him last time, and neither did the future one, making this another contradiction. In fact, there should probably also be a Sally and maybe a Downey, assuming he didn't survive his wound to crawl himself overboard.
Where's Greg?
Greg told me to tell you we should meet in the theater.
So yes, she gets the mask and gets ready to kill her friends as it's the only way to save them. She's not crazy. So she got a shotgun. Wait, in that hold where she gets the gun, there's a spot for 10 guns. Remembering the boat keeps alterations to it during the loops and there are way more than 10 dead Sally bodies, and this is only counting the way she died in the second scenario loop, Jess should have ran out of guns long ago. Or is this like the mirror room? It resets sometimes.
And after I kill you, we'll return.
We'll do whatever you want.
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I got a shot.
Oh yeah, and Jess is now an expert marksman with a shotgun. She doesn't even need to aim. Also, I'm not sure where third Jess is with her shotgun to defend them this time, or since she actually axed down the future version, did she figure she wouldn't bother protecting them at the theater? So she again hides from herself. Too bad she doesn't know where she's hiding. Oh wait. Guess she wanted to wait and ambush her when she goes out on deck, since she knows how that turns out, especially when she starts following the same damn pattern. Why is she even going after herself? She's seen that multiple versions of herself can go over to the next time loop, or did she receive a message from Crazy Town that couldn't be more than 2? And where the hell is the third one this time? You might be saying up above watching, but she followed Sally to that vantage point before, so that wouldn't make sense during this loop, so we might not even have a murdering one for the next loop. So if those two Jesses weren't complete idiots and actually cooperate, they could stop the loop from happening again. Actually, when our Jess was for no real reason cleaning up the mess, she could have just dumped the bodies on the boarding platform.
That might have been a good deterrent from going on board, huh? But yeah, too much sense.
We have to kill them. Kill them. Kill them. Ah!
I didn't plan that. How did it work out like that? It was all meant to be. Predestination. I can't escape my destiny. No.
So apparently upon escaping the time loop, it decided to take her Michael Myers wannabe getup off for her. Isn't that nice? It also healed up her head wound. And upon arriving home, she realizes she's arrived before the boat trips even happened and before she's even left the house.
Why would time be even further back outside the time loops? I need to get back in there. Hello? No one at the door here either. What?
What's the point of buying your things if you're just gonna leave them in the fucking garden? Now what? I'll just clean it up, shall I?
Yeah, I know there's some points in my past if I look back on, I'd probably feel like killing myself, but I'd probably at least try talking to myself first to try and change me. Then if I didn't listen, yeah, I'd kill myself. That might cause a paradox or pop me out of existence, but yeah, fuck it.
They aren't that far off from being the same person, just a few hours, except this one never lives to become this one, so yeah, that doesn't make any sense. She takes her locket off her dead self. This time it makes sense loop-wise, just not why this is even part of the loop.
Mommy won't lose her temper anymore.
She hits a bird and goes to toss it on the beach, and oh look, multiple birds!
Just like the ones the movie is flipping us right now.
That's bullshit, and here's even more reason why. Her son freaks out over the blood on the windshield, causing an accident. So by the rule of repeating, there should be multiple car accidents, or at least their bodies around this point, but no, that would cause the loop to fail.
Then she just dusted herself off and hopped into a cab, because she didn't want to miss more on time, as seeing her son dead wasn't that big of a bother. This only really makes sense if she knows about the time loops, and that causes another her knowing / not knowing contradiction. Or just died in the car crash, which seems kinda likely, and is being forced to relive this as punishment for being a bad mother or something. Though you'd think the time loop would mostly center around shitty parenting rather than a boat ride with a bunch of idiots if that were the case. Also, events had to somehow magically almost play out the same way in the original timeline for the accident to occur, despite it now happening with a completely different Jess who did things that would cause a large time variance. Like that little bit of killing herself and stopping to look at the dead time loop birds. There's also that little thing Jess should have thought of by now, that maybe taking a drive today is a bad idea. Besides, she does have other things to do today, like bury a body so she doesn't have to explain killing herself.
You will come back, won't you?
Yes, I promise.
Oh, get it?
You're the one with the kid, right?
Yeah,
How come you didn't bring him along?
he's at school.
You okay? I don't think so.
Of course not, you're in triangle. Someone there. Okay, deja vu here and on the movie. She gets back on the boat and the events will all happen again.
Except that makes no sense when she knows what will happen.
Yeah, she's obviously getting on the boat to go do the time warp again to try and save her son, but that would mean she knows what's going on. And when we followed her the first time, she so clearly didn't.
Maybe it's implied she forgets during that dream. That's an explanation for that, but it still doesn't work, as she needs the knowledge of what happened to her son to fuel any of the stupid events on the ship's time loop. Otherwise, they don't happen. So this story not only depends on her knowledge of events, but also her lack of knowledge of events. It can't work that way, and if you're trying to say she regains the knowledge sometime after she was killing everyone, since she mentions it being for her son at that point,
then why the fuck, upon getting back, would she take him for that car ride? Don't try to sell me that she doesn't remember again conveniently. It's the only reason she gets back on the boat.
But it would help, it really would, if we were going to be given a story without that much logic, to have a main character that could have some logic in their head, instead of dashing around doing the opposite of what you would think would fix the situation, and then jumping to such stupid conclusions we can't possibly follow how they got there. Not even the time loop itself wanted to make sense, as it kept affecting things differently, with it keeping the dead bodies here, but erasing them over here, and then not affect the placement in one room during one loop, and then reset it on the next. In a movie that's trying to make you think and be so clever, there shouldn't have been so many glaring plot holes.
And it was never worth seeing if the time loop was time-based. No, obviously it's murder-based, even though the same amount of time seemed to pass every loop.
Also, why the message, if they bored, kill them all? When did she ever write that? Oh, let me guess, it's like the keys. She always wrote it down because she sees it there. There's no logical beginning to it. Just like there's no logical way for these loops to be infinite like the movie wants us to believe, the way it's written, it needs all forms of conflicting points of logic for her to be able to take the boat ride again, and 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 again. I understand now why it came back. The nightmare becomes reality. These movies aren't the nightmare. I create the nightmare and make it a reality. I can't change my destiny. I can only choose to meet it. So I must change my fate. It's stronger than my destiny. Let's do this review over again, the right way. Triangle's the beautiful story of how a mother's love for her child wins out over all. And you think with a name like Triangle and them being on a boat, it might be about the Bermuda Triangle? Well, it isn't, and Triangle's so good, it doesn't need to be. Triangle, 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 triangle! It had to be done. It was too late for you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Ah, not really. Ah. Okay. Whew. I'm sorry. Wasn't feeling very good for a bit there. What was I... Right, it's time to review Triangle. What the... No, I forgot to put this up.
I don't like this movie. He doesn't look too friendly. These monsters seem so fake. My nerves are gonna break. Phelous, don't let me down. You need to be around. Grab that running one up and blast that single new one. This movie look shitty. Phelous, oh Phelous, bring on mortal comedy. Oh Phelous, oh Phelous, and some more movies. Oh Phelous, oh Phelous, I don't care how nice you sound. Oh Phelous, oh Phelous, what's your opinion about?
Triangle, triangle, triangle. The word has lost all meaning now.